Hi Audacious Kids, we're so excited for another episode of Holy Histories, where we're looking at some of the weird and wonderful crazy stories that God put in the Bible for us to discover and find out more about Him and ourselves, which is cool. So today's story is very cool. It's all about Naaman. I hope you enjoyed the story. And it's the story where Naaman was asked to do something pretty gross in order to get his miracle. Now, I don't know if you've ever had to do anything gross or a little bit embarrassing or things like that. I know one time one of my friends had a real big problem at their house and their toilets were broken. And so it was like, oh, there's a blockage, it's all broken, what are we going to do? The only way I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to get my rubber gloves on. I'm going to have to get my toilet brush. And I'm going to have to try and unblock all the toilet. Oh, and it was gross and it was smelly. But it still didn't work. It was still blocked. And so even with my rubber glove on, do you know what I had to do? I had to put my arm down the drain, all the way up past here, all the way up to my elbow, my shoulder up here. It was horrible. And I had to... all the gross stuff that I needed to do to help fix that, and now it was disgusting. And to be honest, for about 3 weeks afterwards, my arm smelled. In fact, I think it still smells now. It was terrible. It was sometimes doing the right thing is actually not very pleasant. Have you ever found that? Now, I know from Naaman's story, he'd gone to see the man of God and said, I've got this horrible skin condition and I need healing. Can you help me? And the prophet, the man of God, said to Naaman, you need to go and wash in this disgusting river 7 times. Now, this river was gross, where all the sewage and all the smelly bits came and was there, and it wasn't very nice at all. So Naaman was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do something gross. I don't want to do something hard. I don't want to do something embarrassing. Oh, I know what. How about, instead of dipping in the river 7 times, how about you wrap me in a big cuddly blanket 7 times? Let's do that. 1, 2. Oh, that would be good. But Naaman didn't do that, did he? No, I mean, imagine if you asked, I don't know, maybe one of the good things could be, how about if I eat 7 chocolate bars? That would be amazing. Oh, yum, nom, 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 nom. Okay, let me have another one. That'd be good. Oh, now, Naaman would have done that, wouldn't he? Absolutely. He'd have thought, yes, I'll eat 7 chocolate bars. But the thing that he needed to do to help him to get better, to get stronger, to get rid of this weakness, this disease, it wasn't very pleasant, and it was perhaps a little bit embarrassing. And instead of thinking about what God had said and what he needed to do for his breakthrough, he thought about, well, it's going to be embarrassing. What will people say? What will people think? But even his servant said, come on, Naaman. If he'd asked you to do something amazing, you do it. But he'd asked you to do something simple, something embarrassing, something maybe that wasn't his first choice of things that he'd love to do. And when he did it, he dipped in there. And God not only healed his outside, but he worked on his heart as well. Now, there's a verse in the Bible that I find a little bit confusing, but maybe it can help you. It's from James 1, verses 2 to 4. And it says this. It says, consider it pure joy when you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Actually, Naaman became a better leader and a greater witness of God's goodness because of the hard things that he went through. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen athletes when they're training. They don't just have things nice and easy and say, oh, I'm going to be running a really fast race on the weekend. Let's just go for a walk through the countryside and, not if it's raining. No. They make things harder for themselves. In fact, they do resistance training where they strap themselves up and then they have to run as hard as they can, and they run even though they're making it harder for themselves. That is hard work. But by making it harder for themselves, they are actually practicing and stretching their muscles and making them fitter and stronger. And what the Bible says in here in James is that sometimes God allows us to go through trials to actually help us learn lessons, to help us grow, to help us become stronger. So I wonder, Audacious Kids, if there's something that you're going through right now and you're finding it a bit difficult. It might be a tricky situation at school, or a subject that you're really struggling with, or a friend that's making things a bit hard. And maybe instead of running away and going, no, I just want to be wrapped in a cuddly blanket, why don't you ask God, what do I need to learn in this situation? How can I get smarter, stronger? How can I get closer to God? How can I become a better friend and learn through this trial or this difficult thing that you might be going through? Imagine what God could do in our class every day if we committed to doing what God's asked us, regardless of it being comfortable or convenient. How many people would know how great God is? How many miracles would we see in our life, and other people would go, whoa, isn't God amazing? You've been through this and God's helped you. Maybe God can help me. Wouldn't it be great if our friends, our family, our neighbors came to know about God because of our faithfulness? So whether it's easy or tough, let's be faithful for what God has asked us to do.